This is Crown Television and you're watching the Grand News. Remember, you can follow Crown TV on DSTV channel 277, on GOVT channel 23. We're also on Topstar channel 89 and on Star Times channel 543. We are live on our socials as CrownTVZambia. Follow us. Before we give you the news in detail, let's have a look at the stories making headlines this hour. John General claims he was stripped and threatened in alleged 1 million kwacha extortion trap. GARRY NKOMBO arrested on 2 counts of assault. CHANDA case star in camera trial to safeguard child victim. And in sports, Copper Princesses set up Ethiopia clash in final World Cup quest. My name is Seidlitz Nkhonjera to present you with the news in detail. Miracle Impact Ministries overseer Bishop John Nundwe, popularly known as John General, has told the Lusaka Magistrate Court that he was lured to a woman's house under the pretext of receiving a gift and conducting prayers, only to find himself allegedly stripped naked at gunpoint and threatened with public humiliation unless he paid 1 million kwacha. Opening his defense before Magistrate Emmy Masoja Chilangwa, the clergyman has described how he appeared to be a routine request for prayers turned into what he portrayed as a carefully orchestrated trap.
For more than 2 years, one question has lingered in the public space. What exactly is Bishop John Nundwe's version of the story in a case that has remained sealed in running for his life naked in 2023? The silence has finally broken inside the Lusaka Magistrates Court, where the Miracle Impact Ministries overseer, popularly known as John General, has taken a stand to give the side of the story. The matter relates to allegations that on the 22nd of November 2023, a married woman of Matero was raped at her residence in Lusaka during a prayer visit by the clergyman. According to the prosecution, the complainant had invited the bishop to her home for prayers over facility challenges, but was later alleged that he forced himself on her inside the bedroom after instructing her to fetch a Bible. The state further relied on testimonies from the complainant, who told the court that she believed penetration occurred despite her not seeing the penis directly, and from her husband, who told the court that he arrived home and found the accused raping his wife. Taking the stand in his defense before Magistrate Emmy Masoja, John General has denied the allegations and gives a different account of what transpired on that day. He has told the court that earlier on that morning, he was contacted through church channels by a woman who claimed she had received blessings through prayer and wanted to present gifts, including money and a vehicle, to the pastor, while also requesting for prayers at her home. According to his testimony, arrangements were made for him to meet the woman and later traveled with a fellow pastor through directions that led them to 6 miles in an area called Jamaica before arriving at a house. He says upon arrival, the woman was found by the roadside waiting for them. She asked to join in a 2-seater vehicle that the clergyman was in, even suggesting to sit on the laps of the other pastor who was on the passenger seat. The pastor has narrated that the woman was then carried on the boot because that was the only available space in the car. When they got to her house, he was initially received into the premises by 4 vehicles, including a Land Cruiser, Pajero, and other vehicles to pick from. Before he could choose, he was ushered into the house, where he was later confronted by an armed man who ordered him to remove his clothes, while the woman allegedly laughed and participated in the intimidation. Nundwe has testified that he was threatened to have his nude pictures exposed and demanded for a 1 million kwacha to avoid the embarrassment. He has further told the court that he eventually complied out of fear, was stripped naked, and later escaped by scaling a perimeter wall fence before seeking help from members of the public who recognized him and assisted him in reporting the matter to the Matara police station. The defense in this matter continues. On Tuesday, 2nd June, 2026, Nundwe continues to break the record and tell his side of the story on why he ran naked in the house of a married woman he allegedly went to pray for. For Crown TV News, Anna Mwila in Lusaka.
Police in Mazabuka have arrested former Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, GARRY NKOMBO, on assault charges. Mr. NKOMBO, who is contesting the Mazabuka parliamentary seat as an independent candidate, was summoned by police following an incident that involved suspected UPND cadres who attempted to prevent him from filing his nomination papers. Speaking to journalists in Mazabuka, Mr. NKOMBO confirmed that he had been arrested and charged with 2 counts of assault, allegations he has denied.
Former Minister of Local Government and Rural Development GARRY NKOMBO has been formally charged with 2 counts of assault following an incident that occurred during the filing in of nominations for the Mazabuka Central Parliamentary seat. Mr. NKOMBO, who is contesting as an independent candidate, was summoned to appear before Mazabuka Central Police in connection with assault allegations arising from disturbances that took place on the day he filed his nomination papers. The incident attracted public attention after Mr. NKOMBO was attacked by suspected UPND cadres in full view of the police officers who were providing security at the nomination center. Following the altercation, Mr. NKOMBO reported the matter to police. However, he was subsequently informed that a separate complaint had also been lodged against him, accusing him of assault. On Monday, June 1st, Mr. NKOMBO appeared before police and was formally charged with 2 counts of assault. Confirming the development, Mr. NKOMBO says he is prepared to defend himself in court and is confident that the judicial process will establish the facts surrounding the incident.
It is true that an arrest has been effected with 2 counts of assault, which count we have denied, and we are going to go to court to defend ourselves, and we are very hopeful that justice will prevail. For now, as you know, we all know that I'm not a media freak. I don't like talking to the media unnecessarily, but just to confirm that an arrest has been effected. I have been represented by Mr. Beauty Shanga, State Counsel, and 3 other lawyers, Dr. Brian Kaba, and 2 other gentlemen.
Meanwhile, Mr. NKOMBO has expressed disappointment over the manner in which he has been treated, saying he never expected to find himself in such circumstances involving people he once regarded as close friends and political allies. He says the developments have been personally painful, adding that he is hopeful that the matter will be resolved through the courts.
From my end, if I knew then what I know now, I'm sure I would have behaved differently. And that I personally did not see the future to be like this. And I can only say that from my eyes, the future is no longer what it used to be. Thank you.
For Crown TV News, Tawanda Munyuki.
United Prosperous Party UPP President Xavier Chishimba has declared that Zambia is best served by continuing under the leadership of the United Party for National Development, UPND. Dr. Chishimba says the ruling party deserves the opportunity to build on what he described as good works already underway, stressing that the consistency in leadership is important for maintaining national development initiatives. Announcing his party's decision to align with the other political organizations supporting the UPND, Dr. Chishimba explains that the UPP believes collaboration with the ruling party is in the nation's best interest.
As the clock continues ticking towards the August 13 general elections, political parties are intensifying their strategies, with many leaders weighing whether to align themselves with the ruling party or join forces with the opposition. Among those who have chosen their path is United Progressive Party President Xavier Chishimba, who has officially thrown his weight behind the ruling United Party for National Development. Mr. Chishimba says that his party has entered into an alliance with the UPND, citing what he describes as progressive policies and notable economic gains recorded under the current administration. He says the development agenda initiated by the UPND should not be interrupted, but rather be given an opportunity to continue for the benefit of the Zambian people.
Tetona ule chiti chimacho mwenu. Shanga bakulenga ndange pichikolonga fino. Twesa mukona ule. Bisa uli chiwelewele. Mukani ste welewele yobo kona ule chimti chiweme. To those who call this as a betrayal, I said, the betrayal would be to keep this nation divided for the sake of our own relevance. The betrayal would be to oppose progress simply because we are not surrendering our voice. Let me repeat this. We are not surrendering our voice. We are carrying it to the table, and this includes our commitment to economic transformation, to accountability, to enterprise and opportunity. We join not as a silent partner, but to be heard where decisions are made. Before there was UPP, there was Zambia. Before there was UPND, there was Zambia. Before there was PF, there was Zambia. And long after all of us are gone, Zambia will remain. That is why our first loyalty must always be to the Republic.
Meanwhile, Mr. Chishimba has urged Zambians to reject what he has termed as recycled politicians, arguing that leaders who previously had an opportunity to govern and failed to deliver should not be entrusted with public office again. He says the country needs focused leadership capable of building on the gains already achieved instead of returning to past political experiments.
This nation has never been found in its politicians. Amaka kino kyalo kyaba muntu ngulushio yaba muli mumwe bantu. The strength of Zambia has always been found in its people. We must also be truthful about where we are coming from. We all witnessed the debt crisis. We all witnessed economic pressures. We all witnessed a period when political tensions rose and trust among citizens began to weaken.
For Crown TV News, Tawanda Munyuki.
The Lusaka Magistrates Court has ordered the media to stop covering proceedings involving Edward Chanda of the famous music duo CHANDA, who is facing child trafficking charges, in order to protect the identity and safety of the child involved. Chanda, whose real name, Chanda, pleaded not guilty to prohibition of trafficking of children, prohibition of child grooming, and prohibition of child solicitation, has since commenced trial in the matter in camera.
Can justice be done behind closed doors? That was the question before the Lusaka Magistrates Court in the trial of Edward Chanda, commonly known as Chanda, of the famous music duo known as CHANDA, who is facing child trafficking and cyber-related offences involving a minor, and was set to commence before Chief Resident Magistrate Ntandose Chavala. But before a single witness could even take the stand, the state has moved the court to shield the proceedings from the public view, arguing that the case involves a child whose identity, dignity and welfare must be protected at all costs. The prosecution has submitted that the case concerns allegations involving a child victim and that the law safeguards the child's right to privacy, including protection from the disclosure of details such as the child's name, school, residence and family relationships. and the prosecutors have further argued that the protection should extend to the witnesses expected to testify, including the child's parents and others related to the child. The state therefore asked the court to exclude the media and the general public and proposed that only 3 members of the accused person's support system be permitted to attend in the best interest of the child. Responding to the application, the defense has stated that it has no objection to the proceedings being conducted privately, noting that the overriding objective is the administration of justice. However, the defense counsel has submitted that the accused person's right to have people attend the proceedings should be considered and leave it to the court's discretion. The defense further informed the court that the accused person wishes to have 6 people attend as part of his support system. Counsel has also indicated that there was no objection to excluding the media, citing concerns over the reach and impact of social media in the presence of the media. In reply, the state has maintained that while the accused person is entitled to support persons, limiting the number to 3 is better to safeguard the interest of the child. And delivering the ruling, Magistrate Chabala has noted that the Children's Code Act was enacted to strengthen the child justice and provide safeguards for children involved in legal proceedings. The court has observed that a child's right to privacy is strictly protected by law and that children should be shielded from unnecessary exposure during court proceedings. Magistrate Chabala has consequently granted the state's application and ordered that the matter be heard in camera, excluding both the media and the general public. On the question of the support persons, the court has ruled that 4 members of the accused support system would be allowed to attend the proceedings. In this matter, CHANDA has denied and pleaded not guilty to 3 counts of prohibition of trafficking, grooming, and solicitation of a child within Zambia for purposes of sexual exploitation. In count 1, CHANDA is charged with prohibition of trafficking of children, contrary to Section 3A, subsection 1 of the Anti-Human Trafficking Act No. 11 of 2018. Particulars of the offence are that Edward Chanda, on the 3rd of August 2025 in Lusaka, did traffic a child within the territorial boundaries of Zambia for the purposes of sexual exploitation. In count 2, he is accused of prohibition of child grooming, contrary to Section 17, subsection 1 and 2 of the Cybercrimes Act No. 4 of 2015. Particulars of the offence are that the rapper, on the 17th of July 2025 in Lusaka, did use a computer or computer system with intent to groom a child for the purposes of facilitating or encouraging sexual conduct. And in count 3, he is accused of prohibition of child solicitation, contrary to Section 16, subsection 1 and 2 of the Cybercrimes Act No. 4 of 2015, and the particulars of the offence are that Edward Chanda, on the 27th of July 2025, did use a computer or computer system to arrange a meeting with a child with intent to abuse or engage in sexual activities. And now, trial will proceed.
Sincere apologies for the abrupt cut to that audio. Now, residents of George Compound have been left in shock following the discovery of a woman's body in a drainage near a dump site Monday morning. The deceased, identified as Mulenga Makasa, is believed to have slipped into a drainage channel filled with stagnant water and garbage while returning home, with the circumstances surrounding the death still unclear.
Compound has woken up to a tragedy. What was expected to be a normal day for residents turned into an unexpected and heartbreaking event. 22-year-old Mulenga Makasa, a single woman with no children, is reported to have left home at 11 hours to go for a walk and did not return. According to information obtained by Crown TV News, on her way home, she is believed to have slipped into a drainage channel filled with stagnant water and garbage. The incident is believed to have occurred on 31st May and the morning of 1st June 2026. Her body remained there until Monday morning when neighbors noticed her lying lifeless. The body was discovered in a drainage dump site. Meanwhile, police are investigating the matter and Police Public Relations Officer Godfrey Chilabi has confirmed the incident.
Preliminary investigations indicate that the deceased was last seen on May 31, 2026 around 19:30 hours near Chifundo Market. Earlier that day, she had left home at about 11 hours for a walk in George Compound, and her movements afterwards are not known.
The body is in the University Teaching Hospital mortuary awaiting postmortem examination to determine the cause of death. Investigations are still ongoing. Kundej. Sachingalesu. Nandu. Reporting for Crown TV News in Lusaka.
Construction of the Unza sewer system has reached an advanced stage, with 720 of the planned 763 meters of drainage works completed. Secretary to the Cabinet, Patrick Kangwa, expressed satisfaction with the progress made so far and urged students to safeguard the infrastructure as they return to campus. Meanwhile, ZNS Commander Maliti Solochi said the service is working around the clock to ensure the project is completed on schedule.
As major infrastructure facelift is taking shape at the University of Zambia, where government is investing in the rehabilitation of critical facilities aimed at improving student living conditions, Secretary to Cabinet Patrick Kangwa toured the ongoing sewer system project to assess progress and appreciate the work being undertaken on the ground. Mr. Kangwa expressed satisfaction with the pace of work since the project commenced.
The work we have done, as I was briefed, was the primary line, the secondary line, and then the works within the student hostels. For the primary line, which we've done close to 720 out of the 764 meters, tells you the extent to which we have worked. Well done.
He says government remains committed to ensuring the successful completion of the project and will continue providing the necessary support to keep the works on schedule.
We are proving here what a government can do when it holds and carries each other as one. Otherwise, thank you very much. I'm most impressed, but it's just the beginning.
Mr. Kangwa has also called on students to take ownership of the infrastructure and safeguard it once completed.
I need to call upon the student population, management of the university, and the community at the university, that what we've brought here are assets for you to look after and to use. Not only to use, but to look after. You have to look after these assets. The toilets we've brought, the new taps, the new pipes, the only real security are the students themselves.
Earlier, ZNS Commander Maliti Solochi assured government that the service is working around the clock to ensure the project is delivered within the set time frame. And speaking on behalf of the student community, Uzasu President Kabaso Mwato commended government for responding swiftly to concerns affecting students on campus.
Thank you to the government of the Republic of Zambia and the leadership of President Hakainde Hichilema for the quick intervention they gave us following the sanitation crisis at the University of Zambia. And we'd like to testify to the country that great progress has been made. These are students, I think, going forward, we're essential stakeholders to see to it that we keep the environment clean so that we don't come back to where we are. And going forward, I think Secretary of the Cabinet, we are proud to say we'll be the only university with the modern sewer line and water line infrastructure in the country. So a big thank you to the government of the Republic of Zambia. Thank you.
The rehabilitation program covers several key areas, including the sewer system, water integration, the placement of doors and windows, as well as general maintenance works in student hostels. Blessings Mkanda reporting, Crown TV News in Lusaka.
And now, in Kasama's Mulenga Hills suburbs, traditional leaders say illicit beer brewing has become a growing concern, with many households now involved in producing kachasu. Village headman Mukuka Mwamba says the unregulated drink is breeding sickness and broken families in the community. He has since called on health officials and local authorities to educate residents in the area of the dangers.
In the quiet compounds of Mulenga Hills in Kasama, a silent crisis is brewing. Traditional leaders here say the production of illicit beer, commonly known as cachaça, has grown so widespread that almost every household is involved. Village headman Mukambwanga says the sweet smell of fermentation has become part of daily life, but so too have the sicknesses, broken families, and hidden dangers that come with unregulated alcohol.
Ichile tusakamika sana ni illicit beer walobwa kachasu kanchina na ma illicit drugs kaisha abana nga banwa bapepa kulisana mischief upupu amasele ulubuli twalichita sana lonchu yumulandu kuli ba council na ba police kutwafwa but to no avail.
Tulatuma abantu abanwa rw'omunguru muno mumushi tamuchitapo nangu fimo nomba okubombera pamo n'obuteeko ifwe nti twachita ekintu balatira mushi nomba kiri ekintu kyaba mwifunde lya kyalo okufuma ku parliament irikitiko bia amarwa ashasuminishiwa mufire mwaika takimo n'ekyamba nomba ekyo mulelekera abantu bareshitisha amarwa kiranganda kirabushiku.
The headman is now calling on health officials and local authorities to step in, not just to enforce the law, but to educate his people on the risks of drinking brews with a non-alcohol content.
So Mulenga modern village, we want it to be a raw model village. Chibe kwechi muno Zambia, kutila tuapange mishi isuma yauti ileko nkama fundeyonse.
Ero nga tualeta konseni tapabanangu chimo. So inenga mwine mushi ema konseni nkwete ukulingana ngo mushi wandu wa mulenga yu modern village. Na papata mumombele ko kuri fifintu na ngu tukakwateko na meeting na babuteko muno mumushi. Nankete na abantu bakayumfire pakuto asanga no munandu ngana mupingula fyakonka nefyo no ifunde lya chalo lilele anda. Na papata mudilesa mukuru. Amen.
For the families of Mlenga Hills, the fight isn't just against the drink. It is to protect their homes, their children, and the future of their community. Chanda Wellington reporting for Crown in Kasama.
Now, government has announced it will no longer use public funds to rescue individuals trapped while engaging in illegal mining activities. Ministry of Mines and Minerals Development Permanent Secretary Dr. Penga Kaveta says mining must be conducted formally, safely, legally, and in line with the environmental standards. Speaking after 5 small-scale miners were rescued alive from Matala Gold Mine in Mumbwa District, Dr. Kaveta warned that underground operations conducted outside the law endanger lives and place a heavy burden on the state resources when accidents occur.
We have to go back, come around like this. I think that's where I found the rescue happening.
It was day 17 when the drills finally broke through. 5 small-scale miners emerged from the Matala Gold Mine, blinking at daylight after more than 2 weeks trapped underground. The rescue was a relief of their families, but it also triggered blunt message from government. Dr. Penga Kaveta, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Mines and Minerals Development, said it is over and over. Mining must be done in a right way, registered, safe, legal, and respectful of the environment.
Our role is to provide opportunities for everybody. You go down, we are not coming to rescue you. That is clear. I don't have a budget. I don't have authority. I don't just come here because I want to. I need to be authorized.
Dr. Kaveta said when people dig outside the law, they do not just gamble with their own lives, but also force the state to spend public money on operations that could have been avoided. While he praised the teamwork that made the rescue possible, Dr. Kaveta said the incident should serve as a wake-up call across the country.
This is the last authority I'll come here to do this what I'm doing. I hope I'm very clear.
Yes, there's some.
Am I being heard?
Anthony Chamba, Crown TV News, Lusaka.
government has launched the validation process for a $3.5 million Enhanced Integrated Framework Phase 3 program. The program is aimed at strengthening trade competitiveness, increasing non-traditional exports, and attracting investment into key sectors of the economy. Speaking during the stakeholder validation meeting in Lusaka, Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry Permanent Secretary Lilian Walia says the 5-year program will help improve export competitiveness, promote investment mobilization, and support economic transformation.
Zambia works to diversify its economy and increase non-traditional exports. Government has launched the validation process for a $3.5 million United States Enhanced Integrated Framework Phase 3 program. The initiative is expected to strengthen trade competitiveness, attract investment, and support key value chains over the next 5 years. Addressing the media, Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry Permanent Secretary Lilian Walia says the program will help drive economic transformation through increased exports and enterprise development.
Our focus is to create new opportunities for trade expansion, value addition, as well as regional value chain participation. We would like to make sure that as we run this program, we as a country compete regionally as well as globally. We are facilitated in terms of export diversification, and we also facilitated in terms of having productive investment and ensuring that our enterprises are competitive.
Meanwhile, Zambia Development Agency Director General Albert Halwampa says the program will help create a more attractive environment for both local and foreign investors.
So ZDA will make sure that we participate, make sure that we work with investors, those that will be investing in infrastructure, the whole ecosystem of the beef value chain, starting from abattoirs, free range feeding, programs for the animals, the cold chain, and also the required standards to make sure that we produce to those international standards. So we're very excited as ZDA to see that we have the whole ecosystem included here. And then we don't stop there. With one-stop shop, we make sure that these investors are assisted to access all these important markets using the EIF Phase 3 projects.
And EIF Country Director says the program will focus on strengthening trade institutions, improving investment facilitation, and supporting export-oriented sectors such as the beef value chain.
We be having the opportunity to go through the document and see how we can coordinate our initiatives for efficiency especially. All the elements mentioned can only be praised when it comes to investment readiness, regulatory aspects that will be aligned with the National Development Plan. These are areas where the European Union has already been in the front lines with the Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry. So we'll be continuing this collaboration as we advance with the EIF on its third phase.
Reporting for Crown TV News in Lusaka, Chanda Mwango.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia has launched a nationwide voter education and publicity campaign aimed at encouraging citizens to actively participate in the August 13 general elections. Speaking during the launch in Lusaka, ACZ Chairperson Mwangala Zalomis says the Count Me In campaign seeks to ensure that every registered voter has access to accurate and timely electoral information. She says this will enable citizens to make informed decisions and participate confidently in the electoral process.
Just 72 days remaining before Zambia heads to the polls on August 13, 2026, election campaigns are gaining momentum across the country. The nation is now officially in the 90-day campaign period, with political parties and their candidates taking their messages to the people. As preparations for the general election continue, the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, has intensified efforts to ensure citizens are well informed and ready to take part in the electoral process. In this regard, the Commission has launched its national voter education and publicity campaign tagged Count Me In. The initiative is aimed at encouraging all registered voters to participate in the elections and understand their rights and responsibilities. Electoral Commission of Zambia ECZ chairperson Mwangala Zalomis says the campaign will be rolled out in all wards and districts across the country through various platforms including community outreach programs, radio, television and social media.
The journey towards the general election on 13th of August 2026 presents an opportunity for all of us to contribute to the electoral process. That contribution begins with being informed, engaged, and prepared to take part in the voting. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commission is alive to the fact that the context of each election has a fundamental impact on the publicity and voter education program, and any voter initiative can be influenced by the history and socio-political environment in which this voter education is implemented.
The Commission says voter education remains key to promoting informed participation, peaceful elections, and public confidence in the electoral process.
The Commission recognizes that an election is managed strongest when people are well informed and understand what is involved. When citizens understand their rights and responsibilities, they tend to participate with confidence, promote a peaceful electoral environment, and make right choices. When they participate with confidence, they help build trust in democratic institutions. And when trust grows, our democracy becomes stronger. This is why publicity and voter education remain among the Commission's most important tools or strategies it employs to discharge its responsibilities.
It has since called on political parties, civil society organizations, faith-based groups, and the media to support efforts aimed at encouraging citizens to take part in the upcoming polls responsibly. Reporting for Crown TV News in Osaka, Chanda Mwango.
Time now for the Letter to the President segment. This is a segment where you can write a letter to the President and we get to read it live during the grand news. You can send us that letter as a text message or as a WhatsApp voice note to the number 0974 314 807. Tonight's Letter to the President reads,
Dear Mr. President, I write to you as a concerned citizen who is deeply committed to the progress and prosperity of our nation. As President, you carry the immense responsibility of leading Zambia through both opportunities and challenges, and it is in that spirit that I respectfully share my thoughts. While your administration has made notable efforts in advancing national development, many citizens continue to face significant economic and social hardships. There is a growing perception among some members of the public that their realities experienced by ordinary Zambians may not always be fully reflected in the information reaching your office. Strong leadership is strengthened by honest counsel. It is important, Mr. President, that those entrusted with advising you present an accurate picture of the challenges facing citizens, including concerns that may be uncomfortable but necessary to address. Open and truthful communication between leaders and the people is essential for effective governance. Your Excellency, sir, I humbly encourage you to continue engaging directly with communities across the country, listening to diverse perspectives and ensuring that the voices of ordinary citizens are heard at the highest level of decision-making. Such engagements, Mr. President, can help build trust, strengthen public confidence, and guide policies that respond to the genuine needs of our people. Zambians desire leadership that remains connected to their daily struggles, listens attentively to their concerns, and acts decisively to improve their lives. Addressing these concerns will not only strengthen national unity, Mr. President, but also in reinforce the bond between the government and the people it serves. My sincere hope is that these observations will be received in a constructive spirit in which they are offered for the benefit of our nation and future generations. May God grant you wisdom, strength, and guidance as we continue to serve the people of Zambia. This letter is coming from a concerned Zambian citizen.
Time now for the weather update. Moderate, relatively cool and moist airflow from the southeast continues to influence weather conditions across Zambia. This is resulting in partly cloudy skies and mild to warm temperatures during the day, while nights remain mainly clear and mild to cool. Northwestern, western, Copperbelt, Luapula, Muchinga, northern, eastern, Lusaka, southern and central provinces will see mainly clear skies, slightly windy conditions and mild temperatures becoming cool towards dawn. This weather forecast is as compiled by the Zambia Meteorological Department, a department under the Ministry of Green Economy and Environment. We take a short break. When we are back, more stories. Stay tuned.
On a busy day in Lusaka, right in the middle of a vlogging, Mr. Simon Mwela's phone battery died. Well, he knew what to do next. He called Zambia's top cell phone and accessories dealer. In a flash, problem solved. Across town, Dr. Sia Twambo was getting ready for a presentation when he realized that his PA forgot something. A quick call to Mobile City and his projector screen was delivered in no time. Meanwhile, Vana Fiasasa was about to leave for the village when she remembered she needed a phone upgrade. One call to Mobile City and a new phone arrived just in time. Vana Fiasasa snapping a selfie before hitting the road. But wait, I thought the other guys were in a hurry. For free, fast and reliable delivery, trust Mobile City. Beware of scammers. Mobile City Delivery. You order, we deliver.
This June, step into a bigger entertainment experience with more to love on us. We're talking more drama, more action, more unforgettable stories, all waiting for you.
All hands on deck.
We're opening up our world of entertainment so you can view more.
Good job, partner.
This June, pay for your current DSTV subscription and we'll upgrade you at no extra cost.
Are you passionate about making a positive impact on communities? Do you dream of a career that combines psychology, social justice, and community empowerment?
Enroll in our June 2026 intake for the Diploma in Child and Adolescent Mental Health, community-based work with children and youth.
Dive into a transformative journey of learning and advocacy.
Immerse yourself in courses that explore human development, social policy, and diverse perspectives. Gain hands-on experience through community projects and internships.
REPSI is a TVETA-accredited institution and offers all programs through online situated distance learning. You'll be empowered with the skills to create real lasting impact in communities.
Join us in shaping a brighter, more inclusive future for children and young people. Enroll with us for a program that equips you with the skills to create real, lasting impact.
To start your application, email us admissions.zambia@repsi.org or www.repsi.org or our Facebook page @RepsiZambia or call 0770-707-924. Together, let's make a difference through love, care, and protection for children.
Thank you very much for staying with us. We now continue with the stories. The passing of Paramount Chief Mpezani of the Ngoni-speaking people has reignited one of Zambia's most recognizable cultural practices, the rituals of smearing powder between Bemba and Ngoni cousins during funerals. In the days following the Paramount Chief's death, images and reports emerged from Lusaka and the Copper Belt showing Bemba mourners engaging in powder smearing, often directed at Easterners, including the Ngoni. Though sometimes misunderstood as harassment, this act is deeply rooted in the traditional cousinship and between the Bemba and the Ngoni, a relationship that has shaped social interaction between the two communities for generations. Anthony Chomba shines more light on this story.
A traditional cousins, which is so rich in this country, is between Bembas and Ngonis.
The news of Paramount Chief Mpezani's passing spread fast across Zambia. In Eastern Province, Ngoni communities went into mourning immediately. In Lusaka and on the Copper Belt, scenes unfolded. Bemba mourners walking up to people from Eastern Province and smearing their faces with white powder. Social media recorded it. Social media as well debated it. Some called it harassment. But look closer, it's something odder than these videos. It's the cousinship between Bembas and Ngonis that shape how the two groups treat each other for generations. And social scientist Innocent Mulenga Kolala puts it simple. It is a play, not provocation.
As you might be aware, this is not a today's thing, not at all. In our tradition, for example, as Bembas, when you see someone has been smeared with something white, which we normally used to refer to, or even now we refer it to Inkula. When you are smeared with Inkula or something which is white, then there are a lot of praises which are given to you. You could have been achieved on something which is so interesting, and of course it was not only smeared, or it is not smeared even now. That is practice. It's not smeared anyhow. It's only smeared, for example, when you have conquered something, when you have achieved something. Now those are praises. They are praising you to say indeed you are a conqueror. Similarly, in this case, when we have such kind of scenario, we normally smear each other to show that indeed we are brotherhood, we are sisterhood, we are one. We have been coined in such a way that no one can separate us.
The bond began before Zambia's borders through pre-colonial migrations and marriages that tied the two groups. Over time, it became a formal custom. Each group was given license to tease, to mock, even to demand beer or money from each other, but only in jest, only without malice, and never with harm.
I'm here. My sister. No. We said it's I've been to here. Munda, how are you? Well, thank you. How are you? Wait. Oh, okay. No, he has done. He has done the work. Yes.
He says the moment it turns bitter, it stops being cousinship.
But it's just something which is trying to strengthen, of course, our traditional culture, and to this effect, yes, there could have been those who might have been complaining, why following us in the offices, why following at the market or where we are working from. Yes, tradition has no boundary. We can go anywhere, we can fish you out, and we are still coming. This is just an assurance to you. As long as you are our tribal cousin, we need to lighten this heavy burden which is before us. It's not something easy to lose such a magnificent leader like Mupezeni.
Run away. All those times I've been looking for you. Because you are very clever. Can you go and show me?
Funerals are where tradition becomes most visible. Grief is heavy, so the role of Ichibushikulu lighten up. Bembas will rub flour or powder on Ngoni mourners. Later, Ngoni will also do the same to Bembas when their elders die. It also breaks tension, turning tears into laughter while reminding both sides they are family. His death is their first loss, but for Bemba cousins across the country, it is also a duty to show up. So Ngonis and Easterners by association are finding powder on their shoulders and faces as Bembas fulfill their cultural role. Anthony Chomba, Crown TV News, Lusaka.
As Zambia counts down to the 13th August general elections, calls for a more inclusive voting process continue to grow. The Zambia National Federation of the Blind is urging the Electoral Commission of Zambia to ensure that visually impaired citizens are not left behind. In an interview, Zambia National Federation of the Blind Vice President Lazarus Hakalubela says providing braille jackets and electoral materials in large print will help blind and partially blind voters participate in the electoral process independently and with confidence.
With the elections slowly drawing closer, the atmosphere continues to intensify with only 73 days remaining until August 13th, when Zambians are expected to cast their votes for their preferred candidates. However, the Zambia National Federation of the Blind has called on the Electoral Commission of Zambia to continue promoting inclusivity by providing braille jackets for the blind voters. In an interview, Vice President Lazarus Hakalibula says the Electoral Commission of Zambia should remain as inclusive as possible by ensuring that braille jackets are made available for the blind. He explains that the jackets would help both partially blind and completely blind individuals to become familiar with the voting process.
As Zambia National Federation of the Blind, we are calling on the Electoral Commission of Zambia to continue making sure that the electoral process is as inclusive as possible. Now, in this regard, let me talk about the information on the electoral materials. These have to be transcribed in braille and also in other accessible formats for other persons with disabilities. For example, these should also be put in large print so that those with partial blindness would be able to read, because it is actually very important that everyone gets to understand the do's and don'ts leading to this year's general election.
Mr. Hakalibula has also urged the Commission to consider transcribing electoral materials into large print so that people with partial blindness can read them more easily.
Let me state here that as persons with visual impairment, we need the braille jackets to be printed as soon as very possible. In fact, they can print those that would use for orienting purposes, because persons with visual impairment, they cannot be oriented on anything that is not there. We need the physical presence of that document so that they are able to touch it. We are able actually to touch it and feel it so that we can know how it is.
Braille jackets are important for visually impaired people as they promote independence, accessibility and inclusion. The raised braille dots enable blind and partially blind individuals to read braille and identify information through touch without having to rely on others. Kundej Sachangalasu Ngandu, reporting for Crown TV News, in Lusaka.
And now, in agriculture news, First Quantum Minerals Trident Foundation Limited has trained 41 enumerators to conduct a crop survey involving 3,442 farmers supported under its agricultural input program in Kalumbila district. The survey will assess maize production on more than 1,400 hectares of cultivated by farmers in Senior Chief Musela's chiefdom with support from Trident Foundation.
In the 2025-2026 farming season, First Quantum Minerals Trident Foundation Limited supported 3,442 farmers under its agricultural input support program in Senior Chief Musela's chiefdom of Kalumbila district. In collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture, Trident Foundation Limited has trained 41 enumerators to conduct a crop survey aimed at assessing maize production on more than 1,400 hectares cultivated by beneficiary farmers. Northwestern Province Principal Agriculture Officer Simbarashe Mulambwe urged the enumerators to carry out the exercise diligently and collect accurate data.
We would also want to see how much production are we contributing to the national production yields. Because every data we're going to collect, it's very useful. That's why I need to encourage you to say, as you go into the field, please let's take the exercise serious. So I would want to know from the support which Trident Foundation is giving to our community farmers, how much have we contributed to the 340,000 metric tons of maize? So that's why we are gathered here.
Kalumbila District Agriculture Coordinator Austin Nakanga thanked Trident Foundation Limited for its continued support towards agricultural developmental programs in the district.
We are training 41 enumerators from Musere block and Lubanza block, who are a mixture of our means of agriculture officers and also enumerators from the communities. So here we want to equip them with the data collection skills so that they go out there, collect the quality information from those farmers being supported by Trident Foundation. We are working in collaboration with Trident Foundation Limited. We appreciate their support in most of agricultural activities within the district.
And Trident Foundation Limited Agriculture Fieldwork Supervisor Peter Ngandu explained that the survey will help measure the effectiveness of the agricultural input support program among supported farmers.
This exercise is also good because it is also giving us a footprint and then also an understanding of where the gaps are for us to appreciate and see how we can close up those gaps for the benefit of the local farmers. It will also help us to see where we are in terms of technology and where we are in terms of the yields that we are producing in the area, especially after having some time of training farmers in agriculture, conservation agriculture.
Trident Foundation Limited is currently supporting 2 agriculture blocks in the district, and Chimunya Habajiga is the block supervisor for Musele Agriculture Block.
So this is of great importance because it encourages farmers to utilize their inputs that they are given from Trident Foundation.
Chapunga Manengu, reporting for NAIS in Kalumbila district.
We take a short break. When we are back, sports.
Everyone wonders why I'm always jovial and happy. Every day, every time. At work, even under pressure. At play, always under control. Even with Bay, I always shine. And today, I get to share my secret companion, Best Kombucha. Gives me the energy but also boosting my immune system as I go by my day-to-day activities.
Toileta mami we best kombucha sonwemu. Toileta daddy we best kombucha sonwemu. Iye na ni best kombucha. Best kombucha. Iye na ni mwa kombucha.
Now you know.
Best kombucha. Iye na ni best kombucha. Nutricom best kombucha.
Bapo ulefwayo usende ati amunani. Padi iyi nishirapusha no kutunga shuwa.
Alala kentrande na imwe. Mana nwamingisha nomba mnganda? Ha? Mana nwamingisha mnganda?
Tabaina pakulala yero fibo filifulu. Tabaina kulingalala mwanjini. Na aisa zemunza kamana.
Fibo filichalo tose kukosa vendasa kama na fyomwe obe.
Abantu abalefu efyupo muno mu kyalo bengi sana.
Nomba ina wamwisa nali upo hapo.
Ine ne ali kulondera ine pano wafe. Olwo abantu abaleta mboti bakweva. Ati kweva ati ine nshau papo. Nshakwatapo mwana.
Ine ninjipelesha kulima nga muli serious. Munjo ati ndi serious. Kozi ine chilafuwa kusebana kuchalo.
Kuti wana pa beneka.
Ibo mlefa kupa ine. Ngakwalo mwana kashuwa isunga pano pachalo. Pona aba. Vingani na imwe. Waza pikira re vingani.
This sports news is sponsored by Nutricom, the manufacturers of Best Kombucha and Divine Power Kombucha.
Thank you very much. And time now for the sports news. The Copper Queens have set up a clash against Ethiopia in their final World Cup quest. Let's have a word from our sponsor on the other side. Details.
One wonders why I'm always jovial and happy. Every day, every time. At work, even under pressure. At play, always under control. Even with Bay, I always shine. And today, I get to share my secret companion, Best Kombucha. Gives me the energy but also boosting my immune system as I go by my day-to-day activities.
Toileta mami we best kombucha sonwemu. Toileta daddy we best kombucha sonwemu. Iye na ni best kombucha. Best kombucha. Iye na ni mwa kombucha.
Now you know.
Best kombucha. Iye na ni best kombucha. Nutricom best kombucha.
Copper Princesses skipper Taonga Mubanga has described Sunday's 2-0 victory over the Democratic Republic of Congo as a tough battle, saying that the hosts appeared incredibly frustrated throughout the match. Mubanga explained that the Congolese had struggled to maintain composure at key moments while she and her teammates stayed focused on their mission. With the result, the Copper Princesses have advanced to the third and final round of the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup 2026 qualifiers, triumphing over the DRC across both legs. Their next challenge will be against Ethiopia.
Kamba vezichidyaka nangube boda vakupushinga vazafuna vakudyake vachite bwanji yese na frustrations yambiri maningi despite ma challenges yaja tinakwanisa kustari group ndasevenzelapo pali ma challenges yeyaja then kumalast ndipe tinabotamba kuteya mushe then takwanisana kulonga na 2 goals. Munga mwe tinatera pe tinayamba stage tinayamba bwino test tinayamba mungatenzina manda then okay test tinayamba chelo bora but pete tinakambisana tangana confidence then napane vanalema ndipete tinakwanisa kuti tiyambe kuteya and pete tinambotamba kuvateza test tinankana confidence pete tinafaka bora pansi ndipete tinakwanisa kuti tite bora ya mushe tikwanisa na kulonga na magozi. But otherwise, first half tinateye mushe although inatoka 0-0. But second half pe vanaenda tikamisa kuva coach tabotambisana na teka. Ndipo tinangana na confidence ya kuti tiyambe tikake bora pansi tiyambe kuteya. Final rounds tinaqualify tiyana na Ethiopia. And munga mweni yonera game sizankala easy. Kupezeka kuti ndavana qualify nafika ku final round na veni. So sizankala easy izakosa. But tizakwanisa kuqualify kuenda kwa World Cup kubwerera. And kuja kwa World Cup tikaenda tizabwera kuchabe munga mwe tinabwerera last time paja tizafika na ku semi final na ku final. Apa tizangana na pressure ndava kwembiza mafandi ku Zambia na macoaches wazasta expect vambiri kuti isekaili ya first learning phase and ya number 2 tinapunzira ko vambiri.
Zambia is hosting a 4 nations tournament. The tournament will kick off on Saturday with Lesotho facing Zimbabwe at 12:30 hours, while the hosts Zambia will open its fixture with a highly anticipated showdown against Kenya at 15 hours on the same day. The losers in each match will face off on Tuesday 9th June, while winners will also face off in the second match at 15 hours and 18 hours. Coach Nora Elizabeth Hoptel will use the 4 Nations tournament to prepare for the 2026 WAFCON set to kick off on the 26th of July. On that note, we've come to the end of the sports news tonight.
This sports news is sponsored by Nutricom, the manufacturers of Best Kombucha and Divine Power Kombucha.
And to wrap up the bulletin, let's have a look at the stories making headlines. John General claims he was stripped and threatened in alleged 1 million kwacha extortion trap. GARRY NKOMBO arrested on 2 counts of assault. CHANDA case star in camera trial to safeguard child victim. Couple princesses set up Ethiopia clash in final World Cup quest. My name is Seidlitz Nkhonjera. On behalf of everyone here at Crown Television, pleasant viewing.